Sup, it's your boy Big Reg coming to you once again from the shadow of the big house in Ann Arbor, Michigan. This time bringing you a preview for Game 5 of the Michigan Wolverines 2021 football season. The game that a lot of people have been waiting for to finally say whether or not these Michigan Wolverines are a true contender or just another pretender. The game against the Whiskey Badgers. Gentlemen, I'm not going to lie. It's a big game, and I got big worries heading into it. Joining me tonight for this discussion, first, the one and only producer JB.
Yo, let's get to it. I'm ready to speak my mind.
And that mind has notably flipped over to the dark side. Next, joining us once again, as always, with his head upon a comfy old pillow, the one, the only, nameless guest.
Hey, Reg, I appreciate your foreshadow of your mention of the concerns. I admit they are lingering after that last second half. Let's get into it, boys.
Oh, I'm just revved up and ready to hear what you have to say as far as guarding your heart tonight. I feel like I'm back in middle school Bible study. Guard your hearts, folks. Guard your hearts. Next, joining us from his secret lair from whence he reads all the possible blogs in the universe dedicated to the University of Michigan football team. The one, the only, JC from Sunnyside.
What up, Big Reg? Speaking of guarding your heart, I hope you guard your heart a little bit more this time around than last year with Whiskey. I think you call like us blowing them out by 40, but guard your heart a little bit, Reg. Guard your heart.
I can't help it. I do everything in a big way. I eat big, I drink big, and I love big. What can I say? What can I say?
What the?
And finally, sliding more and more into this despair of this role of a Sith Lord. Good gravy, man. Can you at least turn on the lights in that room? The one, the only, Mr. Squarehead.
This is a must-win situation for this team. Looking forward to the discussion.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know what's creepier, Mr. Squarehead from that position or the guy from Squid Games. Anyway, raise my glass to Squid Games.
Good stuff, man. Just finished it tonight.
I'm trying to, but I'm getting drunk every because I'm depressed about Michigan football. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. We're going to turn it over now to producer JB, who's got our over-under questions.
Let's go with our over-under. We're going to start off with JC from Sunnyside in his dungeon lair there. JC, will Cade throw for more than 150 yards over-under on that one?
I'm going to say over, but just by a little bit. He's not passing for 350 yards. He's going to throw more than 150 because we're going to have to. You know, I've been listening to Devin Gardner this past week, and it's refreshing to hear a fellow quarterback with the same analysis that I've had of Cade McNamara. You know, when you know the position, you know the position. We both played QB in organized football.
Oh, God.
And we both know that Cade has some mechanical issues. You know, it's not just to hit. There's some mechanics that need to be fixed. He doesn't have the poise. There's something going on with his leadership. I think he'll do enough. I think we'll throw some enough swing passes, screen passes. It'll be a 5-yard pass. Will the wide receiver take it for another 20, 50, 30 yards? He's not going to be throwing downhill for 20 yards a pass in the air. The receivers and the running back will do most of the work, the yards after the catch, the yaks. But he'll get over 150.
Yeah, I love how we're referring to Devin Gardner, the great Michigan quarterback who won multi-championships when he was here. What a great quarterback he was.
Also, wasn't he the
150.
mentor of our beloved departed Joe Milton? That same Devin Gardner?
Wow. Wow.
Okay. But I do agree with you, JC. He ain't throwing for 300 because how can you? Last I checked, you don't get too many yards passed from the bench.
Oh, wow.
So you're nameless. You're predicting that Cade will be benched and won't even have the opportunity to throw more than 150.
I think his play will warrant it. What I fear is that nothing would lead to that happening. So we'll see.
Wow. 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 Just a 1-2 combo from the Legion of Hate. Holy smokes. Wow. Not even sparing any venom for Devin Gardner, the Michigan quarterback who last led the Michigan Wolverines to victory over Ohio State. So I raise my glass to you, Devin Gardner, and doing something that hasn't been done since. Holy smokes. And let me just say this. I'm not going to refute JC's prediction about Cade, but I am going to take some umbrage with his comparison to himself and Devin Gardner. The comparison to Devin Gardner as a quarterback and JC from Sunnyside as a quarterback is like comparing one Dogecoin to one Bitcoin. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Okay.
Okay.
God almighty. Come on, man.
Let's move onwards to the second question. Let's go for Mr. Squarehead himself. Mr. Squarehead, will Michigan score 2 TDs? Over under on that one.
Will Michigan score 2 touchdowns? I will go with they will score 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to say they're going to score 1 on the offensive end and 1 on the defensive end.
Wow.
Whoa.
That is my prediction. 2 touchdowns they will score.
Okay.
Kudos. Bold
Right
call.
on even money then. Any others up, over, and under on 2 touchdowns?
Under.
Oh,
I'll elaborate on the score prediction, but
Wow.
Wow. Wow. You are really taking this guarding your heart thing to the extreme.
no, that's actually not it. Although I am guarding it to a degree. Nobody guards it harder than the producer, who is the most committed financially as well as physically appearing in all these freaking games, running to the stadium and back. There's no one invests more in this, so of course they're guarding their hearts constantly. They have to be negative. They can't afford to be hurt anymore. And Square, I mean, just constant negativity is just a byproduct of never-ending passion and constant jiltedness. That actually reflects more of their positions of constantly guarding their heart. I figured them out.
Oh my God. One by one, they're just falling by the wayside.
I'm
Joining the dark.
going with the over. I'm going over 2 TDs. I think 3 TDs.
I'm going with over 2. I think we're gonna win the field position battle. There's gonna be we're gonna play solid defense, and we're gonna have favorable field position, and we're gonna be able to punch in 3 scores. I do like Squarehead's prediction about a defensive touchdown. I'm not sure if we get a touchdown, but I do think that we win the turnover battle. But anyway, get to that segment a little later.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go to the next one then. Let's go with Big Reg himself. Big Reg, defense. Does it hold to 200 yards over and under on that one?
Man, there's so many variables in that one.
But you're asking if Whiskey will be held to a total of 200 yards of offense? or
Yes,
less?
or less.
Okay.
Over under on the 200.
I'll go over 200 yards, but I'll put it this way: I think it's going to be ineffective yards. I think they're going to show what they've shown all season, which is being turnover prone or ineffective in the red zone, where they won't score at all, or they'll score field goals instead of touchdowns. This whiskey team, unlike other whiskey teams in the past, hasn't shown the ability to hit on big chunk plays, like they used to do in the past when they had superstars basically in the backfield, or even in the passing game when they were able to make big hits in the passing game. So I think that's why for them, it's gonna kind of play right into Michigan defense's hands, because Michigan defense hands basically the bend don't break. The whole philosophy is based around, we're not gonna give up the chunk plays, the big chunk plays. We're gonna make you earn everything, and we're gonna bet that you're gonna make more mistakes, or make some kind of mistake more often than not. So I think that's what's gonna happen, especially with Graham Mertz leading the way for the Whiskey Badgers. A little cheesy, but hey, that's my take, and I'm sticking with it.
Any others? Over under on the 200 yards.
Wow, my answer was so comprehensive that there was nothing left to add. All right, next topic. The next topic.
Next
Excuse me,
question. It goes
Nice
right into JC from Sunnyside's previous speculation here. Defense gets 1 turnover. Over under on that one.
Wait, whose question is that?
JC from Sunnyside.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, I get another one?
Yeah.
Definitely over. I don't know. I don't even know why this question is even on there. Like, there's some kind of like miscalculation of like what the number should have been.
Wow.
I think we Mertz, he has 11 interceptions so far this season. I think we get to him. I think we get 2 interceptions.
He doesn't have 11 interceptions
On the season.
No, he has.
They only
has
have
11
9 turnovers.
He has 11
Yeah.
interceptions in 3 games. No way.
Whatever. I mean, I'm just saying he has a lot of interceptions. All right, that's the point. Okay.
3 pick-sixes last game alone. Either way, it's a lot.
We're gonna get 2 picks. We're gonna get to him. He's gonna fumble the ball. We're gonna get him out of the game. They're gonna make a quarterback switch. At the minimum, 3 turnovers. Right, favorable field position. Right, connects to my previous answer. All my responses are connected. Right.
Wow.
Turnovers lead to favorable field position, which leads to touchdowns.
So to clarify, Graham Mertz has total this season 566 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions for a QB rating of 20.6.
Yeah, 6 is a little less than 11.
Yeah.
But we get the general idea of what you're saying.
Come on.
6 to 11 seemed a little extreme there. A little extreme.
Oh gosh.
I think that again, it's going to be 1 turnover. There's no. It's even money here. Now, what I don't understand is, okay, so they had a ton of turnovers. Well, specifically the quarterback in the first 3 games. If you're going to use that as a gauge going forward, you're predicting he's going to have like 45 interceptions the whole season? Come on, man. They're going to do something to clean that up a little bit. You think because he threw 4 picks against Notre Dame, just automatically he's going to throw 3 against us?
Yeah, he's going to get benched.
We have no
He's not going to throw
interceptions.
45 interceptions because he's going to get benched.
Wow.
You know why he's going to get benched? Because their head coach, their head of the snake is competent and can bench a quarterback when they suck.
Oh
Not like our head of the snake, who's so stubborn, he won't bench Cade even if he threw 4 picks. Have a drink.
For sure.
mean, it is an interesting question because on the one hand, you have a turnover-prone team that's just coughing it up left and right, and you've got a defense that's bend but don't break without these playmaking, DBs who really have shown any propensity to catch the ball for these INTs and turnovers. So I don't think we are actually a big turnover producing defense. I'm more like with Square, maybe one. I could easily see them cleaning it up to get like not turning it over at all.
Wow. All right. Well, there we go. All right. What's next?
I will say though, about benching. If Cade has another half like he did against Rutgers, I don't know. I question his mental toughness against Washington. Under the lights, didn't show up. Second half against Rutgers, when we need him to step up, just didn't show up. When he realized that, wow, Rutgers has a defense and I need to show up, he just couldn't do it. And he couldn't elevate his game, but he couldn't elevate anybody else's game either.
Well, that was gonna be my last question for nameless guest here. Does JJ show up by the third quarter, over under on that one?
No, I mean, I want him to if he throws another putrid, inept kind of performance where, you're basically 0 for 5 or whatever, can't hit an open receiver. You have a surefire touchdown in the end zone. I mean, sure, anyone can miss one, but what we saw in the second half was a whole half of just misses. And so that just makes Michigan fans wonder, like what JC said, can he hack it? Is there something bigger at issue here? So what I say is give him a half. See what happens. I mean, if you see an identical display where Wisconsin is going to just stuff that run, that's my prediction. They're going to shut down that run game as much as it pains me. And then Cade's going to have to do something. And if he can't convert first downs, if it's 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, can't make a pass. Oh man, it's going to be a little rough. But he's not going to be benched. So no, it's going to be painful to watch.
Wow. Any other thoughts out there?
Moving on.
So the last thing is obviously score predictions for this upcoming game, and then also the keys to winning. Who's going first?
Go ahead. Start it off.
I'm going score of 21-14 Michigan. It's going to be it's supposed to rain this coming weekend. That's the weather prediction so far. I think it's just going to be a ground out game. They're just going to keep doing what each team can actually do. I don't think either team is going to put it up in the air at all. I think it's just going to be constant back and forth, and whoever can survive that. 21-14 Michigan. Keys to the game, just don't turn it over.
Today, let's paint with New Bear Dynasty so that you can be proud of your walls.
We got commercials in here too. 21-14 Michigan. Running is the key.
I think we win pretty comfortably.
Wow.
I think we win 24-10. I think we like you said, we're going to turn them over. We're going to have great field position. I think our special team shows up to give us good field position. We're going to stuff them. They have just a horrible offense. Their offense is terrible. And once there's a benching, the backup quarterback comes in, he's not going to be able to do anything either. 24-10, Michigan dominates the second half.
Wow.
Oof. It's a hot take right there.
I'm really surprised by these two predictions for W. Nothing would make me happier. What I see is a long tradition of Michigan having great difficulty winning on the road. I mean, it's well chronicled. It's almost impossible, or it has been so at Camp Randall. Wisconsin's not the same team, but they still have an elite D that can shut down the run. So my prediction is what it was at the beginning of the season. I kind of saw an L here as our first one for the season, 16-10, definitely way on the under. They're going to struggle to put up points. But please, guys, please be right. JB, I can't believe you predicted a W. That shocked me. That's actually, my mind is still just spinning, surprised at how you went out from guard your heart mode. I'm actually stunned.
Wow. Gotta keep you on your toes, Nameless. Gotta keep you on your toes.
I've said this before. There's no Michigan fan out there that wants to be more wrong than me every season.
Yeah.
I want to be the one that predicts a 6-6 season, but we win a natty. I want to be the guy. And I hope this week I'm wrong as well, but I cannot predict that we're going to win in good faith to the people out there, our 33 subscribers.
43.
43. I cannot look at them in the eye and say that I'm gonna pick this team to win. So I'm going, like I said, 2 touchdowns, maybe a field goal thrown. So 17 Michigan and 24 Wisconsin. I think they turn things around at home. They're going home. Michigan's coming in. We're not feared anymore because we've got the head of the snake that we just cannot get rid of. We're not feared anymore. They're not fearing us when we come in there. They're not fearing us when they come here. So I think they're going to turn things around a bit, and we're going to take the L here. But again, I hope that I'm wrong.
Wow. Well, the only surprising prediction out of that whole bunch so far was producer JB.
Yes.
Guarding his heart, but then turning out to be the town floozy and just throwing it up. Holy smokes. What did you predict? 21 to what?
21-14 Michigan. Go blue, baby. Go blue.
Wow.
My
Wow.
gosh, he cannot help it, baby. He can't help it. Oh, man.
Little seeds of hope.
You crazy, man. You crazy.
Oh, this dude is out there on the streets, son. He's out on the streets. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, listen, I think this game is going to come down to the two defenses, knocking both offenses around. It's going to come down to which offense can pull off a big play here or there. And if I look at it that way, I got to give the edge to Michigan, because Michigan does have, as much as they've struggled, as much as we've struggled to get the ball in the hands of playmakers this season, I feel that Michigan has the edge in people that are able to do break off big plays, chunk plays, et cetera, et cetera. Blake Corum, AJ Henning, Roman Wilson. I don't see that same level of breakaway, big play ability on the Whiskey side. So that's why, for me, I think both offenses are going to struggle. Both defenses are going to dominate the game, but it's going to come down to a big play here or there. And I got to give that edge to Michigan. So I predict that for the first time in 20 years, think about that, folks, 20 years. For the first time in 20 years, the University of Michigan will go down to Madison, Wisconsin, and get a big old W. Michigan, 28. Whiskey, 13. Put it in the books.
What? Wow.
Guard your heart.
Yeah.
Guard your heart. Guard your heart.
I'm out there, baby. I'm out there.
He's putting himself out there. Let's give a shout out to the two people who commented on our YouTube. We seem to be getting more and more comments on YouTube, so thank you guys for contributing on there. Our boy Stevie from San Diego, always coming out with a great analysis. He really speculated that Cade actually had a concussion. Maybe that's why in the second half he was not actually doing so well from the targeting penalty that was affecting him. But great analysis from CBC. And then obviously our boy Andy in Seattle always talking about why isn't this title? They almost pissed that away from the team from Piscataway. So creative juices flowing. I think we might need to get him on the show and be able to share some of the insight and just.
That's what I'm saying. We got to get some more guests on. We haven't had a single guest on this season, have we?
No.
Oh man. Anywho's. Oh man, the gentlemen, I'm super excited about this weekend. We're gonna see how we stack up now. Big test on the road against a big time opponent. Whiskey, they're down a little bit. They got their own struggles, but I think, like I said, it won't take away from my happiness if Big Blue is able to get down to Madison and pull off a big W and continue their march toward a chance of winning the Big Ten championship.
Quick question, please, if I may.
Sure, why not?
What could happen this weekend in Wisconsin for you guys to join the hashtag Fire Harbaugh Club? What needs to happen? I'd like to hear that from this panel before we go.
We get blanked by Wisconsin.
Something like that has happened close to it already, and it was even at home.
Come on, let's pump the brakes on like what
Yeah.
last Saturday. There was one half of bad football. We played 8 halves of football this year. We've dominated 7 and had a bad one half. Even if we lose to Wisconsin, our goals are still all in front of us. But we're not gonna lose. We're not gonna lose Saturday, 24-10. We're dominating second half.
Domination, baby, domination.
I actually have a question to flip onto Square. I'm so glad you asked that last minute question. What would you show a little bit of love?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing can happen. Nothing
With
can
a
happen.
monumental signature victory at Camp Randall.
No. I would give all the credit to the assistant coaches, the coordinators, the position coaches, but the head of the snake.
Can't do that.
No, the head of the snake has to go. You know why? Because he's had 6-7 years. You can go to any job, and if you cannot produce, you got to go. You got to go. No credit goes to the head of this snake.
That's
the head
a
of
true
this
leader.
snake.
That's a true leader.
The head of this snake is rotten. Needs to go. All credit goes to the coordinators, the ball boys, the managers who bring the waters out, Gatorades out to the players. But the head of the snake needs to go. I don't care if we win 63-0. No credit.
Okay, well, on that note, we always talk about making these videos, much tighter and more concise. These always bloom into a 40-minute fiasco. I wonder why. Anywho, is there anything else we want to bring up?
Make sure to click link and subscribe to us. Put a comment in there. What do you think is going to be the score for this Wisconsin versus Michigan game? Who's going to be the victor and the keys to the game? We'd love to hear from you. Ask us any question amongst this panel so that we can actually interact with our fans out there, all 43 of you.
Well, on that note, gentlemen, I raise my glass to the big matchup coming up for the University of Michigan Wolverines football team. And I say, go Blue!
Go Blue!
Blue.